All right, so I want to ask about Victor, okay? So, because Bryce is obviously gone, so you got Victor now in center field, so you got two really young players in the outfield and Adam. And a lot of people, there are expectations for Victor. You've been talking about Victor for like 3-4 years. I remember one time you compared him to Andrew McCutchen. He had a pretty good spring, right? I think he hit 320.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did defensively. You could tell me about that. But and I think he's going to bat ninth, correct?
Correct.
So Joe Madden's kind of started this, hitting the pitcher eighth. Obviously, Davey worked with Joe. So Max will hit eighth, and then Victor will hit ninth. Talk about Victor.
I think Dozier seventh today.
Okay, and then tell Nats fans why you should really be interested and confident about Victor. How did he play in the spring? And talk about him hitting ninth, which is something that you guys didn't do much of last year.
Yeah, I think because of the dynamic he brings to the lineup was the decision that Davey and I made to hit the pitcher eighth and Victor ninth. Hitting him ninth is indicative of a speed-laden lineup. When you go around the lineup now, when you pass the pitcher, you're going to have a Robles who can fly, and then Eaton who can run really well, and Turner, and then big boys in the middle. So, Victor in his minor league career was a high on-base percentage guy. He's a guy that hit for a high average. We think that correlates into the big leagues, and it's nice to have a high on-base percentage guy to solidify the top of the lineup with high on-base percentage guys. It allows Trey to be more of a run producer along with scoring a lot of runs and stealing a lot of bases. So that part of the equation works out really well for us. And when Michael Taylor's in there playing center field, he'll be doing the same thing. He'll be hitting ninth and turning the lineup over. Another guy with great speed. Victor's a very tool-laden player. He's a skilled player, and he can fly. He's got great defensive capabilities. He's got a gun for an arm. He's going to have sneaky power and really grow into his power when he learns how to hit and learns the league. And will get on base. And he's a guy who can steal you a base. And he had a very good spring training and played consistently well the whole spring training. I don't care what he hit. I don't care what his average is or any of that stuff. But he showed me that his offensive game is ready for the big league stage.
Mike, one of the cooler under the radar stories from spring training was Jake Knoll makes the opening day roster. Talk about how he developed in spring training and what sort of role he's going to have with the Nats early in the season here.
Well, he was a 7th-round pick for us, I think in the 16 draft, and he was a college kid and came into the organization, kind of on the quiet and the QT in his early years. But he grabbed my attention 2 years ago in the minor leagues, and then really, I thought, took the next step in the Arizona Fall League this year. As a guy who could play multiple positions, third, first, he plays second base. We've got him taking balls in the outfield. He's put the catcher's gear on as an emergency catcher if we need that. During the year, he caught bullpens and caught a little bit in college. So he's a guy that really, he'd do anything to make the big leagues like everybody else would. But he came out and really showed that, I think he's taken the next step in the Arizona Fall League, and then he continued it and took it into big league camp. And he forced us to take him on the team, because if you're true to the word that we're taking the best 25 north, and a guy like Jake doesn't make the team, where he shows off the bench. He can play good defense at several positions. He's got power off the bench and really control the strike zone early in spring training. What are you telling everybody? It's hard to say you're taking the best 25 north when a guy who comes out and dominates spring training doesn't make the club.
Now, not to put a damper on it, is he though a short-lived 25, because you've got Taylor, Kendrick, and maybe one relief pitcher who's on like your 10-day DL or whatever it's called now.
Sure, JP, those things always take care of themselves.
Right.
You always said
it's a great story now, but then like 10 days from now he's
10 days from now, but he's on the 40-man roster. You're going to see him again if he's the guy who goes out. Like I said, he may force our hand, and he may force us to keep him here, and he may never go back. You never know, but we like the depth that he brings to the organization, and a guy that would literally do anything to help the club.
You know what would fire you up? Just winning $100,000.
Certainly.
Let me just tell our
Of
listeners
course.
this. If you're doing something different this year, 106.7 The Fan and Burke and Herbert Bank want you to register online for your chance to bank on the cycle. Throughout the Washington baseball season, one listener is going to be chosen each week to win $100,000 if a Washington baseball player hits for the cycle during that Wednesday's game. No cycle, no worries. Still walk away with a $100 gift card from Burke and Herbert Bank, and you can register online every week for a chance to win big again. You can get more details at thefandc.com/contest.